Recording in progress.
Okay. Know why we keep turning the volume.
Okay, we do have audio. That's good.
Oh.
Hello.
Hello.
There he is. I don't know if you saw this out there or not. Oh, complete first and second season.
I'll
It's
run.
still in production.
Yeah. I'll run away with them. I actually own the digital copies.
Yeah, I was gonna rip those.
I somehow or another I ended up with credits enough to buy them from Google, and so I did.
Yeah.
Not real sure what I did or how I did that.
Is it files that you yourself possess, or you just have the rights to watch them when Google says you can?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
I won't go too deep into that one.
I had actually considered getting an HDMI encoder just to get around some of that stuff.
Can you hear us, Art?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yep, there you are. And something just happened.
Pardon?
Nope. I'm waiting for my camera to go off. If it'll go off, but I don't know if it will. So
Why would your camera go off?
my home.
Oh, okay.
There should be people in the house right now, but I have not seen anybody move and nobody's talking.
Maybe no one's talking to you. That's it.
Well, maybe they're just being quiet. Maybe they're taking a siesta.
There's a ghost in the house.
You should just say, I'm calling the cops.
You need some Halloween sounds.
I had a projector of ghosts and I put it up when she came over, Thea came over. Apple, there's ghosts in the house. Yes, there are. There are ghosts. Now I see a TV on, so it apparently didn't trigger. But I don't hear anything.
At one point, we had a neighbor that had I think it was a unit-in white cordless phone, 900 megahertz. This was a long time ago. And it wasn't right. I could hear it on my baby monitor. Even when it was on the charging stand, it never stopped.
Oh,
That's
so it
not
was
right.
listening the whole entire time.
Yeah, they argued a lot.
Somebody had them bugged.
I have no idea, but I mean, yeah, it was like this faint background sound most of the time. And when they were on the phone, it was loud. And I knew it was a unit in because I saw him out in his yard once, still on the phone. And the thing had an antenna about this long on it. It was hilarious. And I asked him where he got it. Best Buy. Okay, don't shop there.
Those 900 megahertz phones were notoriously bad in the first place. All of them.
They had good range.
Yeah, but they were just,
No encryption, no,
no security. It didn't even rotate frequencies. It was, you picked it up and that's the frequency it's on, and
I've got some new baby monitors and they use phone technology, absolutely. But they're nice. It has one transmitter and two receivers.
Mhm.
They are nice. I have one upstairs and one downstairs in the family room. So you listen to what's going on outside. You don't realize that you're missing a lot if
oh yeah.
you can't hear what's going on. Now all these new cameras have microphones. You just have to be careful. When you're looking at them, you can hear what's going on.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, the audio is always there. It's your recorder that only lets you hear the one you're looking at.
Now the real links, when you look at it, you hear it. And
Right. That's the thing that you're looking from. It's always transmitting sound.
Yeah.
So,
If you real link software, if you don't look at that camera, you don't hear the sound.
mhm.
Actually, yeah, if you don't look at that camera, you hear the sound. But what happens is real link's got a new feature now. They will go through all the cameras on the screen. They go through it one at a time. And
Mhm.
when certain cameras pop up, you get a lot of noise because there's a car going by. You hit the front yard, you're gonna get a car.
Yeah.
Yeah,
On
but that's good.
those cameras I got, they've got mics on them, and I can turn them off.
Yeah.
Which is, or adjust the volume of them individually. So the one that's in the front yard, I can make quiet.
The monitor, I don't think they had that integrated into the software now. So when it's flipping through the various cameras, it just turns your microphone. And I tried to find the individual microphone.
Mhm.
Nope.
Oh.
Maybe they'll incorporate that in later iterations.
So I couldn't set the volume at the recorder, but I can link my phone to the cameras directly and edit the map for where it detects motion and set volume controls, that sort of stuff. The cameras themselves are also very intelligent, but the recorder doesn't see any of that stuff.
Yeah, it just does it.
Yeah.
Whatever. There is a volume control. I think there's a volume control. Yeah, there's a volume control on the camera and then a volume control on the monitor. But you can't set the individual volume controls, yeah, when you're flipping through them. Yeah, I'll check that. Maybe, yeah, maybe the local volume will do it. But it's, the real link's getting better. They'll do 9 screens at a time,
Mhm.
and they'll do 9 and one that switches. They don't have, if this one's hot, to pop it on the big screen yet.
Okay.
Actually, iSpy has that. If you have one that's hot, it'll pop it up big.
Right.
iSpy does
Yeah,
that.
I don't think mine does either, but only having 3 cameras, it's not a
Yeah.
big deal.
Yeah. That sequencing through the cameras is nice. What I've done is I run iSpy and I run Reolink in a smaller window on top of it. And
Oh, okay.
so I'm just to see how much I like the switching thing. Because things are getting better now. Reolink is making all their stuff compatible with iSpy. And also, this is a good one. With the RTSP, you say, get this camera, okay, and the RTSP, give it the information, and then it also has an option to use the GPU. And it uses the GPU for the decompression.
Okay.
Really offloads the CPU big time.
Yeah.
It's not using CPU now. rarely. Real low, like 12% utilization. So that's good. Usually you use GP. And also I have the OnVIF cameras. OnVIF is a specification standard.
Okay,
And if I go to the OnVIF camera and say, use a GPU, iSpy goes, dies. So I'm guessing that GPU doesn't work with OnVIF. OnVIF was a spec, it was a pretty much a standard that was out. It's one of those ad hoc standards, non-standard standards.
and now there's another.
And yeah. And really,
So Jim,
yeah,
how do you spell the word you're saying there, Ondrats or?
OnVIF is ONVIF.
Okay,
It's just a non-standard standard that the camera vendors were following. I don't know if they still are or not, so that cameras can be compatible within brands. And our TSP is probably the same kind of thing. I don't know if it's a real standard or not.
oh, real time, whatever the heck the rest of it is, that is a standard.
Okay.
And has been for a long time. There are different encodings and compressions with it, but RTSP as a protocol has existed since about 98.
Cool. So now with the Rio links, you can, or with iSpy, you can select a GPU and they'll decompress the packets in the graphics processor. I thought that was cool. And definitely offloads the CPU in the Windows box, in my wonderful Windows box. Anybody buying this? Was that sound sincere at all? No, okay. Well, the Windows box is doing okay. You know.
Long as you don't go for Windows 11.
Well, I'm not the one just to dance around the bleeding edge. Thank you very much.
11 isn't really so much of a bleeding edge as just the next edition of Windows 10. It's, man, I'm actually running it as a VM and I'm not disappointed with it. I mean, any more than any other Microsoft product. But
I'm not entirely unhappy with it.
they make nice ones. Oh, wait, they don't do that anymore.
I have not yet tried Windows 11. Just
It's
every machine I've got is old,
so,
and every one of them has said, upgrade your TPM, which of course they're too old because, you know,
yeah.
the TPM can't be upgraded.
I actually saw something on shoot, the Chinese eBay thing. A PCMCIA TPM chip.
Really?
What the hell are you gonna put that in? There's like 6 machines in existence that'll still work on.
Oh. An
It
old
was
industrial.
$18 too.
How much?
Yeah, could be.
An old industrial machine. But then you would question why the industrial machine would want to upgrade when
Windows 11.
there would be no reason to do it.
So I gave my mom a laptop, a Dell 7090 maybe, I don't know, a relatively new laptop. And I put Windows 11 on it and I turned off the centered bottom button bar, moved it over to the left. And she thinks it's Windows 8. She thinks she had Windows 8, which she didn't. She had 10, but she still thinks she has Windows 8. It updates nicely the,
As long as she doesn't have to call tech support and tell them what she's got, she's
Yeah.
fine. Let her think she's got Windows 8.
well, Winver still says that.
My dad, he bought a laptop. Probably, it's going on 6 years at least. He was saying the other day, it's doing some weird stuff. I'm like, yeah, maybe it is. We fixed it. One of the things it did was one of the updates killed his sound for some reason. There's
Yeah.
no particular reason why the update that he got had anything at all to do with the sound subsystem, other than the fact that it's Microsoft.
Yeah,
Figured it out, got it working. He said this is doing some other weird stuff. It's really slow, and I'm like, yeah, I bet it is. You probably need to either reload it or we just go and get you another computer, because it's like, I tried to plug this one into my the meeting presentation like we're doing. So I couldn't figure out how to get it to work, and I started looking at it. It does have an HDMI port, but it's an old HDMI port.
HDMI 1.0.
Yeah, something like that. And the meeting screen that he wants to use didn't like it. I tried and tried and tried, and I said, okay, we're going to do dozen things, and you could see it pop up for about a second, and then it would stop. And I'm like,
Weird.
what the heck? So the only thing I can figure is the TV that he's trying to view it on is not compatible with the specification.
You may have been able to mirror the displays and have it work. Sometimes, like on this TV, the resolution on that thing is so high that it kills the memory in my little laptop.
Yeah. Like I said, I sat there for probably an hour, maybe longer, sitting there going, it should just work.
Yeah.
Why isn't it working? And we tried all kinds. I mean, I set the resolution down as far as I could get it, and I kicked it up as high as I could get it, and it still, it would display like the logo for about 2 seconds, and then the logo would disappear, and that was it.
Weird.
And I said, yeah, I don't think this laptop's going to work for your presentation. Or you're going to have to drag your TV into him, because it works on his TV, but it didn't work.
Oh, that's even weirder.
Well, his TV is about 6 years old too, so not so weird.
My mom had this gateway laptop for a long time. And she started complaining that the screen was hard to see. And it was a good size laptop, 15, 16 inch. So I got her one of these all-in-one things, a HP touch screen. The thing weighed a ton. Nice kickstand in the back, had Linux Mint on it, and I had it looking mostly Windowsy. It had the big Google icon. It had Thunderbird on it with an Outlook icon. And I had a blue and white skin on Thunderbirds. It was pretty darn close. And she just exploded. It was like, oh no, the colors are wrong. It's I need Windows. Bye.
Because that's what she's used to.
Yeah. And I mean, the only thing she uses is Chrome and Outlook. And I'm trying to tell her, you can't get Outlook anymore unless you're willing to pay for it.
Yeah.
And Outlook Express isn't a thing. And
When
Windows Live Mail kind of sucks.
that's what we ended up using for my dad when he got Windows 10, was Windows Live. He's okay with it. It's not the greatest thing, but
There is so little that you can customize about it. You cannot make it display as text only. You can tell it to not download pictures, but it will always display HTML.
I did not know that, but
Yeah.
apparently he doesn't customize stuff anyway. He just leaves it alone. So
I love Thunderbird. My stuff comes up in nice plain text. See, about a tenth of a second whether or not to hit the delete key.
I'm pretty bad. I use the online version, gmail.com
Mhm.
or mail.aol.com because I've still got that.
Really?
Yes.
Oh. I have an account that I would love to be able to sign back into linuxmonger at netscape.net.
Wow, that would be awesome.
Yeah, and it went away when AOL bought them. And I'm like, rats, I like that one.
I'm on the verge of losing my Yahoo email that I've had since the beginning of the creation of the internet. Because now Yahoo is saying they email me every now and then. It's like, you haven't logged in lately. I'm like, yeah, you know why? Because no one uses Yahoo.
Yeah, I've got linuxmonger at Yahoo.
I said
I actually logged into it about a year ago.
I logged into mine just to keep it active because I've had it for so long. But the one that people know is either the Gmail one or the AOL one.
Mhm.
And Yahoo and AOL are the same company.
Yeah. And Netscape.
So who are they both owned by?
AOL.
Verizon, isn't it?
I thought Warner Media bought that.
Yeah, it's some
And Yahoo got bought
I
by
can find out.
Verizon. Yahoo got bought by Verizon, I thought.
It's easy enough. We can find out.
Yeah.
Verizon, you're right.
Nah.
They own the parent companies.
No, Verizon sells it
Verizon sells it. Wait,
May 3rd, 2021, on my birthday.
Wow.
AOL is owned by Yahoo. Who owns Yahoo?
Apollo Globe, never heard of
Now, wait a minute. Does Verizon own?
it.
Yeah,
Owns Apollo Global.
It's a shell company.
So does Yahoo own Apollo Global?
Apollo
Yes,
Global
90%
Management
Verizon managed.
is Verizon.
No. Apollo owns 90%, Verizon owns 10.
Verizon Communication 10%. So weren't you looking at Yahoo and they said they own? You look at Verizon and said Verizon owned Yahoo.
Verizon acquired AOL in 2015 for $4.4 billion. That's
Followed
cheap.
by
That's cheap
buying
when you consider what
Yahoo
what
2 years later.
Twitter's worth.
It said they bought it 2 years later. It said Verizon bought Yahoo.
But then
2
it
years
says
later.
Apollo completes its $5 billion acquisition of Verizon Media. So now Apollo owns it.
So Apollo owns Verizon. So I was right. Verizon does own them, but they're owned by somebody else.
Whoever Apollo is.
I think it was a Greek god.
Yes.
And
Yes.
their subsidiaries are Athene Holding, ADT Security Services.
Athene.
Yeah,
That is also a Greek god.
that's Athena, but yeah.
Yahoo and more. They own They own more.
McGraw Hill. Who's the last? And Redbox. That's hilarious. I still have a set of keys for Redbox.
A Coinstar. That's where they make all their money. People dumping change in the Coinstar.
And that's where they launder their money.
That's where they launder.
Honest IRS, we made $47 billion in quarters.
If they acquired AOL for 4.4 and then they acquired
Verizon.
Verizon for another, that is a hell of a deal when you consider what Musk wants to pay for Twitter.
It's not what he wants to, it's what he got the deal to.
It's
Any idea what those shares were worth 2 weeks ago?
About 38% below what they're worth now.
So now they're $54 a share, apparently.
There's something like that. Actually, it's the inverse of that. He bought it at a 38% premium over the current market price. That was the press release that I read, at least.
that was the original offer. What he ended up with is a different offer.
Not much different.
No,
The
It
difference
wasn't much.
agreed to pay for it out of his own pocket instead of in exchange for shares or something.
Yeah. Well, the advantage of going with a share exchange is it's a non-taxable transaction from the IRS point of view. If you
Yeah.
buy it for cash, then it becomes a taxable transaction. So any premium that he pays to the shareholders for their shares becomes taxable income to them.
All right.
That's M&A 101, by the way. That's been true forever.
It still says waiting.
but
I think that's Mike.
he's there, but we can't see him.
It still says.
It's 15133.
Well, that was he showed up before with a number, so
Yeah,
I don't remember what number it was, but he showed up.
Well,
That's almost the area code and a phone number.
is that a prime?
maybe.
I don't know. We can find out. Google is our friend. Feel like I'm Googling stuff today.
What would we all do without Google? I gotta tell you, we would have to go back and remember stuff again.
No.
No, it is not a prime.
Okay.
What are its divisors?
I didn't ask it that. I just asked if it was a prime number. Uh, $37, 409. Looks like more. There's more.
Yeah. Well, he's in stealth mode now, that's for sure.
Hey, it says he's here, but he's not here. So
It also says you still got to admit it.
I don't know who this is.
I thought mine were obnoxious.
You're getting denied because I don't know who you are.
Has the filter for the phone helped? Are they filtering everyone now? Thought they implemented
for
Phone
like
filter.
spam calls.
No,
Yeah. No, they're not spam.
I'm getting a ton of them. I think that's because I bought a house. Jesus, my spam calls went up a huge amount. I was getting one every week, every 2 weeks, maybe. Now I'm getting 5 or 6 a day.
I had
Just,
on Republic, I had the spam pretty much eliminated, but switching over to Mint, they started again, but they're not, I don't get them often. I get them enough to be annoying.
yeah. I deleted 5 numbers today, I think.
Every time I get one though, I tell it to block it and record it as spam.
Yeah, by default now, mine asks me, do you want to block this number? Or is this,
Yeah,
yeah. And you can add it to the blocking list.
mine, I think Steve's right, because last week we talked about that a little bit, but you know, there's a new underlying phone number on Mint. And I had blocked I had them block the original phone number.
Oh,
So now somebody else, I get messages every now and then for Julie or Mike, and I'm like,
ooh, that's good. I got like a Vietnamese one. I was a Vietnamese guy. Oh, yeah. And they call me in Vietnamese.
I got
Oh, yeah.
one that blah, 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 your prescription is ready. You need to come and pick this up. And I'm like, hey, what is this?
Oh, that's 15333.
Yeah, he's sharing his screen.
Oh, he's looking at the meeting notes,
Yep.
meeting announcement.
He's doing things. Oh,
There's Sarah by Orson Scott Card. The Orson Scott Card wrote, you might know,
a lot of science fiction.
yeah, Sarah is a Bible about Sarah from the Bible.
Huh, okay.
And I
The
read
Old
it,
Testament.
I think they've dropped for some reason.
and I got to reading him, and it turns out he wrote Ender's Game.
Mhm.
Very popular book and movie, and he's also a Mormon. And
No, really, didn't know that.
he wrote some biblical stuff. It's a good book. I happened upon it and didn't read it. I read it, started reading it a second time. Not bad. And there's Billy Summers, which is a good one too, by Stephen King at Turkey.
I liked Stephen King's short stories. I thought 4 Seasons was one of his best books.
Hmm.
But at some point, somebody told him, we'll pay you by the word. That was a mistake.
You know,
That's true for most authors.
there was a made for TV show that was based on one of his books.
Mhm.
I was watching this show. I loved it. I was like, this is a cool show. And then somebody told me Stephen King wrote it. I'm like, that does not, it's
That
not
didn't
even,
help.
it was not even anything. It wasn't horror. It
Oh,
was kind of sci-fi kind of a deal.
do you remember?
11/22/63. He wrote the book.
Okay.
It's about finding a time portal and going back to prevent the assassination of Kennedy, and of course they fail because that would be,
That might be detrimental.
but it's all about consequences that happen, and then the time portal closes and stuff. And I would have never ever in my wildest dreams have guessed that King wrote that.
Yeah.
But apparently, within the book and the TV show, there's little mentions of other works that he's done. And I guess if you're not really up on your Stephen King, you
Mhm.
just overlook that stuff.
I don't know. I want to like Stephen King, but I've started it probably a dozen times and I can't get past page 100.
Everything I have ever everything I know about Stephen King has been through TV shows or movies.
Yeah.
I've never read one of his stories.
He used to write decent shorter stories, 20, 30, 40 page stuff.
Yeah. Well, most authors used to write decent.
Yeah.
stories.
But I don't know, his stuff is like Tolstoy now. What? So what's up, Mike?
Why aren't you talking, Mike?
Oh, he's gonna write for us.
Maybe he's got a sore throat or something. So what are you drawing?
Dots.
Dots, yeah.
Hello?
Help?
Help.
Doesn't writing with a mouse just bite?
No.
Help.
Okay.
Alligators are after? No. K-E.
Oh, Ken, not Mike.
Oh,
Okay.
Kenny? Kenny?
So this is Kenny. This is interesting.
Aha.
Wow.
Okay, it's not Mike. It's Kenny. What?
What's he
We-
view? What are we viewing him
We
in?
don't know how to help you. I mean,
No, you can do a shared whiteboard.
yeah, there's a whiteboard and all kinds of stuff.
Oh.
Of
Okay,
course, I
so
would imagine the whiteboard would be easier if you had a stylus or something.
in the bottom left-hand corner, you should be able to do start video, unmute, mute, and then start video and use the pull down by the camera in the bottom left-hand side and select the camera. But I don't know if I want to see you. If it's truly.
I was at Walmart the other day looking at Hot Wheel cars to add to my collection. Found a Mustang Mach-E 1400. Have you seen it?
No.
If they would have come out with this in the first place, the whole debate about it being a sports car would have been over. Period. It is. As soon as Kenny's done, I'll show.
Okay.
It's a prototype, 1,400 horsepower, which is insane.
Yeah.
They're going to race it at NASCAR to show it off.
Okay.
I'm guessing they're racing it in the electric car, NASCAR. If they would have come out with this thing, if they would have released even something that was close to this thing, the whole debate about whether or not it was a Mustang, because as soon as I saw it, I said, that's a Mustang.
Yeah.
I was like,
So when was this, Leroy?
I'm getting rid of your thing so I could Google Kenny. There's Kenny.
Hey, Kenny. Hey, Kenny. Wow.
Ah,
There you go.
yeah, what I was saying, the other was much better.
Can't hear you. No
Make-
sound.
Muted. Bottom left corner, see if you're muted.
Yeah, we can't hear you, Kenny, but at least you're here.
Select a different microphone if you're not muted. And you saw how to select microphones, bottom left-hand side, use the up arrow and select.
So what's the date on this announcement, Leroy?
Well, I saw a Hot Wheel car of it this year, but the date on this looks like it's July 21st, 2020. So
Okay, so it's almost 2 years old.
yeah, but nobody's known about it apparently because what's that thing? I mean, that thing looks like a Mustang.
This is what they wanted. The new electric Mustang is what they made.
This is what people wanted.
Yeah,
The SUV thing is what they made. That thing looks awesome. Now, 1,400 horsepower is insane for anybody to drive, but
Question is, how do you even keep it on the ground with that kind of,
well, I'm guessing what the spoiler on the back is doing.
yeah, you,
7 motors.
Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Yeah.
we can
Yes.
hear you. I'm not saying that they should release what the specs are. They should have just made the body this. I mean, the specs for this thing are insane. It's definitely a race car. But that's what the body should have been. I mean,
I don't know. Without a full side view, it looks like it might be pretty close to the current Mustang.
it's not. I'll find another picture, a better picture.
There's a related Mustang E down further in there.
oh, wow, okay.
It is awfully tall.
It is tall.
So where are they running it? Is that Bonneville?
I don't know if it actually said where they were running it at.
Well, if I look at the desert, the flat desert, and then I look at the mountains behind, it looks to me like Bonneville.
That is not, is that the Mach-E?
It'd be a good drift car.
That's the Mach-E without the
That's
spoiler.
the Co-Bridge at 1400.
Oh, okay. Yep, different one.
And that's not Bonneville, okay.
They were apparently going to take it and show it off. There's a real good side view of it.
So is this a 4-wheel, like one of the Super Tesla?
Got 7 motors.
So that would suggest that maybe at least 4 might have motors on it.
7 motors. I don't really know why you need 7 motors, but
I was gonna say, you only got 4 tires touching the ground. What are the other 3?
as soon as I saw this, as soon as I saw the Hot Wheel model of it, I instantly knew it was a Mustang now. I mean,
Yeah.
instantly. There was no question in my mind that it was a Mustang.
The only thing I can think is differential on the rear, 2 motors on each wheel, 1 in the middle, and then a motor on each front wheel. Because it's obviously got power going to the front wheels in that image.
Yeah,
I mean,
Yeah, you can see the front wheel smoking on it. So yeah, it's got front wheel. Yeah.
yeah.
oh, yeah. The whole body must be full of battery.
Yeah. I wonder what kind of fire extinguishers they have.
I was gonna say, if you hit something, you would just be toast.
There's just the back wheel spinning now,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
maybe you can do independent
sure.
wheelies.
You got 7 motors.
You got 7
It's
motors.
Not surprising. That wouldn't be surprising at all.
I don't know, the front wheels are smoking a little there, but
Oh, yeah.
this is,
Oh,
Look
yeah.
at the Green Car Reports top one. Maybe that one tells where they're putting the motors. Right
I
up.
wonder if that thing's even street legal.
No, the middle of that set of three. That one, yeah. Visit that site.
oh, I would seriously doubt that this is street legal.
But that's 200 horsepower per motor. That'd be cool with 500 to the rear and 200 to the front.
So you're dumping your Comet and you're gonna get a E1400?
No.
You know?
It has so much ground clearance. Maybe one motor is just to pull it down to the ground. 3 to the front differential, 4 in pancake stacks in the back, with a drive shaft connecting them all together.
Huh.
1400 power. Dun, dun, dun. Nobody in their right mind. That other, the Ford website said it would do 160.
Oh, I think it will go faster than that.
I would hope so. At that,
You can drive it 160.
oh,
I ain't.
look at that thing.
I wonder what the lever is for.
That's the ejector seat.
That's probably what it's
Could
for.
be, yeah,
Because if anything shorts out, it's a bomb.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's seriously, what they had on one of them, the big lever was a battery disconnect. Really?
Well, if it's a race car, NASCAR probably wants them to be able to disconnect the batteries.
Yeah.
I can't imagine they wouldn't have some sort of safety thing like that.
I like that spoiler. That's an active spoiler.
And all I know is as soon as I saw it, it just screamed Mustang to me. It's like, that's a Mustang. Why did you give us this?
A ton of downforce at 160 miles an hour. They're not saying that's how fast it goes.
Ah.
They're saying at that speed, there's as much down as there is up.
Okay. Oh, look, it's got spoilers on the front of it too.
Yeah, they found out they needed those.
It's going to fly. It's going
Yeah.
to fly.
Exactly.
Well, you'd kind of like the front wheels to stay on the ground.
Yeah, well. If they gotta.
I had somewhere though. There was a
So
picture.
did you buy it?
Oh, I bought a couple of them when I saw it because I was like, yeah, that's the car.
What's
Sure.
the price? What's the price on this thing?
$1 a piece, Hot Wheels style.
No. I'm talking
No,
about
this car is a prototype. It's just to the Ford website said it was just to demonstrate the potential of what electric cars could do. So they will probably never actually make this for anybody to actually own.
I bet Henry's all pissed off now.
look, if there's guys around who'll pay $55 million for a ride on a spacecraft, there are guys around who'll pay a couple of $1 million for one of these things.
Oh, I'm sure it's worth a couple of million.
Well, if it's just a prototype by itself right now, I'm sure it's worth that.
What was the date at the top of that news release?
I'll look. They don't have picture. I saw a picture of the SUV and the 1400.
I think that's the SUV next to it. And yeah, it still looks kind of like the SUV.
The SUV had like a bigger bubble back.
Yeah.
Looking at from the side, it looked different.
So they could claim it was a SUV, yeah.
What's the date on this one? I don't see a date. Oh, yeah, July 21, 2020.
So we're talking about almost 2 years ago.
Yeah, but see, it says it's based on the 2021 SUV, so there is some base to it, but to me, they just don't look like the same car. I don't know. Because that doesn't scream Mustang to me. That screams, I don't know what the hell you are.
Well, add tire smoke.
Okay. But I'm sorry, that just doesn't scream Mustang. Maybe because it doesn't have a spoiler. Maybe the spoiler makes all the difference.
Yeah.
I was watching a YouTube on the Porsche 917, which is an old formula car. And they were talking about as it was built, the thing was basically uncontrollable at speed. It just wandered all over the track. And they called in some designer and he's looking at it and there's bugs caked on the front of it and some on the windshield and none on the rear spoiler. They realized the spoiler wasn't in the airstream.
It wasn't really doing
they
anything.
moved it up and the thing became just an amazing car just by that change. That was an impressive car. That was 600 horsepower, round numbers, on a 12-cylinder air-cooled pancake engine.
I mean, I'm pretty impressed with the Dodge Hellcats. Those
Yeah.
things, 800 horsepower.
Yeah, that's a little crazy.
Yeah, for a civilian or just a car you'll see out on the road. That's insane.
Yeah, you ought to have a special license to even take that on the road.
I had a Chrysler New Yorker, had a 440 in it, and that thing was supposed to be putting out 340 horsepower. It seemed like it might have been. I got about 8 miles per gallon with it, and I pulled a 16-foot trailer for quite a while, and I got 8 miles per gallon with it. Just, it made no difference.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike.
Are you going to draw for us? Oh.
Gentlemen, I can't stay very long. I have the car up on Jackson and changing the oil, but I have a general question. I don't mean to pry or anything like
Vice versa.
In other news, if you're doing your own oil changes, look up Thermoto oil valves. They're great little valves. You take out your oil plug, stick that thing in, and it makes it so much easier to do an oil change.
well, the Ford is the one I'm changing the oil on, and the hardest part is taking the plastic cover that's under the engine, taking all the screws off of that to be able to get to the filter and the drain plug.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The Mazda's got a little access cover under it. It actually works out pretty well.
There are two underneath the Fusion, one to get to the drain plug and one to get to the filter. And being underneath there with a 9mm 1/4-inch drive ratchet is all it takes, but it's like I'm too fat to get under there and reach those spots.
Oh, you don't have your own service pit?
Well, I used to have that, but I filled it in. No, we cast 15,000 pounds of concrete into the trench for the footer for our patio. So I did have an access trench, but we never used it for that.
Just get a big outdoor storage barn and put a lift in it.
I think it'd probably be cheaper if I just took it to the mechanic. I'm gonna. Jim, would you mind sending that to me when you find it as an email?
Sure.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Take care, Mike.
Got something. Okay, bye. On. Vicente's here.
Hey, Vicente.
Hi, hello.
They just disappeared too.
I can't, you gotta go. You don't hang with us.
What's going on, Vicente?
Nothing. I am working on an emulator from a board. I have this, I bought this in Amazon. Arduino Mega. See?
Oh,
Ain't
okay.
that bright?
Let me make you big. There you go.
It has a USB-C port.
Mhm.
It cost $20. And the chip cost $19. This chip from Mouser, DigiKey, or Microchip.
Yeah.
You can have it for until the next year. But
So this comes assembled like that?
yeah,
From Key Studio.
like that in this box.
Yep, Key Studio.
Yep.
I bought 10 boards, shields in Amazon. You see this?
Okay.
Is the shield for this board. 10 of those, $6 in Amazon, free shipping. Double side. So they cost like 70 cents or so.
Get the headers for them too.
No, just
Or just the board?
the boards. And they were delivered overnight, you know.
It comes with the USB cable for $14.
But that board.
Yeah, Studio Plus development board.
Key Studio makes some interesting stuff.
They have an Arduino Uno, interesting, very interested. Very interesting. It has a switch to commute from 3.3 volts to 5 volts.
Some of those, they're robots. They take like an open design of those robots and improve them with,
Yeah,
like,
they make like clones of everything, but they do it very well. They improve a lot of things in their designs. They are cheap also.
a bunch of those robots that I have that were Key Studio. I mean, the manuals were actual physical manuals. You didn't have to download anything, and they were half an inch thick. I mean, they were decent manuals.
What's the name of the company?
Key Studio.
Mm,
Yeah, it's pretty blurry.
Yeah, $19 with the cable. I was looking at the Arduino one, not the Mega.
Not the Mega. So the Arduino one was 14 and the Mega
It's
is
19.
five more dollars for a much improved board. A significant step up.
Many more pins.
Yes, but it's a significant, it's also got more memory and.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a significant step up.
are you out of peanuts?
No, I run out of them. No,
Oh,
empty.
so you gotta get another jar there. You don't want to starve the dog.
Yeah. No, he's eating all the time.
Link to Key Studio in the chat.
Okay,
Yeah.
They
Got it.
sell all kinds of stuff. Key Studio is not really spelled the way you would expect it to be spelled. Sort of.
Yeah.
it's Key Studio.
Key Studio or Keys Studio.
That's the other possibility.
Look, this Arduino.
Hmm.
See?
It's got a USB-C. it's
They have a switch here to change from 3.3 volts to 5 volts. You have
It's got the
you have pins to connect analog modules. I mean VCC ground and the analog pin. Also, you have here for servos, servo motors. You have 5 volts ground and the signal of the PW output. And you have additional 2 analog channels here because they are using the surface mount at Mega, and the surface package has 2 more pins than the deep package. So you have 2 additional analog inputs here. Okay.
And how much is that?
This one is el Arduino Uno is 1588
Mhm.
and delivery tomorrow. Free shipping for me. I bought the Mega, this one. I bought 2 of those. They have a comparison here. Well, they are talking of their advantages. You see, they have a switching power supply that works warmer or cooler and can withstand more current. I like the USB-C connector. You can connect directly analog modules.
I like the male pin headers.
And they are cute also. It's beautiful. I think the board is nice.
You got the some of those sensors, there are 3 pins in that, and they just plug right into those male pin headers.
Well, I found a CETA-80 microprocessor emulator. I am running it inside this 80 mega. I'm trying to make a new computer ruler, CETA-80 computer in a ruler format. I'm working on that now. That's it. They also sell this. Look the price of this shield.
Yep.
Very low cost for me to be delivery in a day, and in USA, and I don't know. I think it's very low cost. You know.
That's a clone of, like, back in the day, the official Arduino had an official board that did that.
Really?
They don't make it anymore, but
I like
They have this other shield.
yes, the screw terminal one is cool too.
It's another shield for the 80 mega. But this one comes with the connectors.
Yeah.
And a small breadboard. So that's it. This is the boards I bought. 10 of them. But this is not the price. I don't know what happened. They changed the price.
They changed the price after you bought them and they realized.
Yeah. They were $6.99.
We sold those too cheap. That screw terminal block right there for 32 bucks. I found those on eBay for a lot less.
So shields for Arduino Uno, I think.
How much is that one?
12.50. Yes, they have
That's for one, or that's a package of several?
one. I think it's one.
It's
One is outside the box, but it's one. I think it's one.
it's got screw terminals on it though, so it's
Yeah.
it's
What is option 2?
Option 2. Let me see.
$12. One's $12.50 and one's $12.
Maybe with the breadboard or without it.
Oh,
50 cents for a break.
50 cents for.
Must be 50 cents. Maybe it's a good idea to have it. I don't know.
I went to school for electronics, and one of the projects that we had was building our own power supply, 5 volts and dual 0 to 12 or -12. And they gave us double stick tape and had us stick breadboards on top of the power supply. It's not a good place for that. But whatever. And one of the guys didn't like it, so he decided to remove it. He pulled it off. All those little metal strips went everywhere. Oops. Everybody else just left it on the power supply.
show you something. Mm. This is the board I am planning to design. You see, this is the CIDA starter kit I used 40 years ago. It's a development board for the CIDA. And I am planning to have all the functionality in a ruler, in a board, you know, a ruler with a CR 2032 battery. I am planning to use AT microchip, Atmel chip to simulate the memory, the microprocessor, and the CTC, the timer controller. You need a timer to control a single step, and to have breakpoints in your code and check your program step by step. So I almost there. I have now I am working in the simulation of the timer counter chip to have it in the simulator. And I already have the original code, the original EEPROM code running in my 80 mega, and I have the display working and all the keys working. Now I am working on the single step key and the breakpoint key, because those keys use the timer interrupt. So it's becoming a little complex, but it's going well. That's what I was doing this week.
Cool. Yeah.
So, Steve, I have a computer for you. Let me show you. I remember you gave me a CIDA board several years ago. You remember?
Yes.
Well, I have a Linux computer for you. Is faster than a Raspberry Pi, but have the same form factor. You see,
That's cool.
What is that?
the name is
Heat sink on it.
Nano Pi.
A NanoPi.
NanoPi. This is the board. This is the heatsink. It has an eMMC memory, 16 gigabytes. So it boot very fast. You know, you put the SD card and you transfer the program to the eMMC.
That's cool.
Yeah, you have a Bluetooth and Wi-Fi in two different antennas.
Huh.
And it's not cool, it's hot.
That's some heat sink you got there.
Yes, it's the biggest part of it. You see. So maybe the next week we can meet in the library, and I'll bring it to you.
I would appreciate that.
Yeah, it was. I won't use it. I remember I bought it for a project, but I never use it. I just have the what is a version of Ubuntu. I think I installed Ubuntu to run a robot operating system, ROS, but with the Raspberry Pi 4, I can do that. But this thing is faster, I think. So here in the box. Now with the heatsink doesn't fit inside the original box. So I am using a bigger box.
Did you add the heatsink?
Excuse me?
Did you add the heatsink?
No, you can. There was an option when you buy the board. You can check the heatsink and the memory expansion. So I select both, and I remember I paid more than $100 for 150 or something like that. But this is for the Linux people.
I'll bring a toy for you too.
I just got notified that there was motion at the front door, but by the time I started the app, the motion was gone.
Okay.
Gotta put an SD card in.
I got to put an SD card in. But I don't ever. Oh, look, there's motion. It just told me there was motion.
Mhm.
When yesterday or now?
No,
No, that's I just saw Patty walk through and it went ding. There's a ghost in the house.
Clobber you when you get home.
Mhm. Usually have to back off a long distance to talk.
There's a ghost in the house. She's used to me.
If she could throw something at you right now. Just saying.
There. I'm going to change it to I'm home so that it doesn't do that, but problem is by the time I got the app started, she had already moved out of the way of it. So. But it notified me. I mean, it did what it was supposed to do.
Yeah, that's good.
She'll text me. Are you talking to me?
Yeah. My cameras, you have to get way back away from it and not talk loud, or it'll overmodulate and I can't hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
You get an idea of how bad that is when you're there talking to yourself, which I do a lot.
okay.
He is asleep. You scared me. Don't do that.
I say, if you were there, you're lucky. You better get a helmet if you're gonna leave that thing on. Come on, those one of those yellow hard hats to wear around the house.
Yeah. She's used to me.
It doesn't mean she forgives you.
Well,
It doesn't mean she forgot either.
No, this is interesting. Doesn't tell you how many episodes. It tells you the subtitles, the year, 2018, 2019, color, 676 minutes.
Season 1 had 13 episodes and season 2 had 15.
Yeah.
And season 3 should be starting in June 2nd, I think. Cool. So you get just enough time if you've been watching.
I can do that.
Have you seen it before?
I've seen sporadic episodes. I'm glad that for the most part, each episode is encapsulated. You don't have to have seen the one before it.
So I would recommend starting with episode 3 of season 1 first, and then going back and watching season or episode 1 and 2.
Okay.
Episode 1 and 2, they were still trying to figure out just what they were
Mhm.
trying to accomplish. And they're good, but they're good.
They hit their groove in 3.
Episode 3 is where they seem to have figured out some of the quirkiness and whatever. The humor, of course, you would expect because it's Seth MacFarlane to have some humor. The humor in episode 1 and 2, it's pretty bad.
Okay.
I mean, it's like Family Guy bad.
I like Family Guy.
Yeah, so do I, but it's not great-ish.
Okay.
Season 3, they went a little bit more serious with it, turned it into more of a Star Trek-y kind of thing instead of a Family Guy in space kind of thing. So I recommend, if you haven't seen, or if you've only seen a few episodes, start with 3, move up. There are, I think it was like in season 2, there's a couple of episodes where you have to see the episode before, and they usually do mention something about some of the previous things,
Mhm.
but like you said, what they mentioned doesn't really matter. I mean, you could follow what they're doing.
Yeah.
So most people, when they first released that, most people were put off by episode 1 and 2. But if they gave episode 3 a shot, that's when
Mhm.
the groove actually started to kick in. It's when they actually figured out what they were doing. And even I just started rewatching myself, but I think that a few things changed. Like episode 1, they mentioned a few things that actually turned out to be a little bit different later on, and the differences actually make it better, not worse. So
Sorry.
but it's a good fun ride that it's got a lot of humor, but
I finally saw Batman.
did you see it?
I see it, but I saw it, but it's too large. I know it's too dark. Oh my God! I saw it in the TV. Maybe it's a little less shiny, less impressive, but oh my God, I got depressed.
I still want to see it again.
Yeah, maybe in a big screen is
Yes.
better, you know.
Big frame is
Because
definitely.
everything goes wrong all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Did you enjoy it though?
Yeah, but it's you need more fun. I know to be more light.
This was a very serious take on Batman.
Yeah, it's a little heavy.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was one of the better Batman movies. And that car, oh my gosh, that
Yeah.
car.
I don't like the bike, the motorbike.
Yeah, the motorcycle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the car was amazing. A new Batmobile for you.
Yeah.
For the collection. There is already on sale the Batmobile, the new one, in a model or something.
Yeah, I mean, go to Walmart, they're all over the place.
Check in
Lego
Amazon.
made one and a bunch of companies made models for it. Hot Wheels.
Kenny's got a new backup device. Mirror on his mirror, and he went berserk. It's got GPS in it. It's got left and right warnings. People to the left and right of you, people too close in the rear. And it's got a front view and it's a recorder. And it also has audio GPS directions for a backup mirror. Okay. He went whole hog, man. And it records, of course.
Wow.
But it warns you if are too close. I know it does front and back, but I don't know about side to side yet. If he's doing side to side, I don't know how he's doing that. So it's nice, it's got the nice backup. When you back up, you can see.
This is an add-on
Yeah, and it fits over your mirror.
over the existing one.
And it's another, it has its own mirror. It is a mirror. And when you back up, the backup screen comes up. Pretty cute.
So it's got external cameras that does this or what?
Yeah, it's got an external camera. I know he's got a back, I know he's got a front one too. And you can record, you can reach up and record if you want to. And do look forward, look back. While you're driving down the road, you can have it be a rear view mirror or recording forward or record going backward. I said you could just leave it on all the time and you have what we've seen.
So
yeah,
where does the camera mount on the back side of the car?
it's right above the license plate.
Oh,
They
okay.
have several options. This is at Hi-Fi Buys. Wi-Fi Buys, Hi-Fi Buys, whatever it is.
There it is. That one plays a sound. I've got that one at the house. It's not out of the box. It's in the box, but it plays music or plays sound.
The worst thing
Adam,
ever.
Adam West.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, stop sharing.
I'll see if I can find the video and send it to you by Sunday. I saw a video where somebody took and used deep fake and superimposed Adam West in the Batman movie. And it actually worked out really well.
Okay, this is
I'll see if I can find it again and send you a link.
deep face.
I saw it on Twitter, so I don't remember exactly what it was called, but it was good.
My middle boy just got a Dell R440. I think it's got 24 cores.
That's
48
insane. That's insane.
1U and insanely loud, I'll bet.
5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Whoa, wrong.
I blew up my computer after the drive died. And what it ended up being was it did the single beep, and a single beep is
Memory usually.
memory usually. And it has a nice flip up cage, flips up and you slip your drives in it. And it's the drives on the side, all that.
Mhm.
Nice, except when you close it, it's got a brace on the bottom that hits the bottom of the
Ooh,
computer to make it nice solid. Except when you flip it down, that cable pulls the main cable going to the back plane, to the,
Oops.
all your connections, and it pulled that cable out. And I reseated it, but that wasn't enough. I had to pull it out and reset it. Now I've got to route that cable where it doesn't get in the way of that when you close it. But now, geez, Pete.
Oops. That sounds like a
design flaw.
half thought out design. All right.
But I kept wondering, every time I tried to close the thing, it wouldn't close. It was, something was hanging and I couldn't figure out what it was. Well, now I know.
Just force it.
Another thing I ran into with my cameras, I kept having blurry images, noise.
Mhm.
And I finally figured out after changing all the camera settings, I switched it from UDP to TCP. Poof, perfect now.
Really?
Yeah.
And you get a bad switch.
Well, bad switch?
Yeah.
Really? Well, UDP, it doesn't do frame checking.
Right, but there's no reason for those frames to get lost.
Well, that's true, unless there's electrical noise. Oh, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Now that, by the way, one of the symptoms of that loose connection was if you plug the cable in, the Ethernet cable in, the whole thing would reboot. Poof. Would
All right.
blow up
Oh.
and reboot. Yeah.
I'm shutting down, guys.
Good
Okay.
night.
Glad you dropped by.
Bye, see
Okay.
you.
See
See
you
you
next.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
All right.